Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on TNA Impact Wrestling 16th of March 2017. We kick off the show having a video recap of last week's episode, including when Alberto El Patron gave back the world title to Bruce Pritchard and Dutch Mantel because of the way he won it. It was very nice for them to show that, because if you hadn't watched it on the YouTube, you may not have known, so I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And then the show officially opened with Alberto El Patron making his way to the ring. He talks about how he's loving it here because he doesn't have to pretend to be someone who's not. He can say and do what he wants, except for using his title as a weapon, apparently. Good job there. He says his name is Alberto El Patron, and this is his home. To borrow a phrase from his fiancée, he said last week to prove to everyone he deserved to be champion. If it wasn't for pro wrestling politics and office people and office politics, he'd be standing here right now as champion. He then demanded Lashley come out, but he gets EC3 instead. EC3 reiterates what he said last week about earning title matches around here. If Alberto wants to earn it, he can fight EC3 tonight for the right to face Bobby Lashley. C versus 3. Alberto says he has nothing against EC3, but he's here to face Bobby Lashley. Squeezes his cheek and said, "You're not Lashley," as he puts his arm around him and says, "I'm sorry, you're not Lashley." EC3 said he thought Alberto was a real bad hombre. He doesn't think he knows who he is messing with. Doesn't Alberto know he's loco? Does Alberto have no mass testicles? How many more stereotypical Mexican phrases are you going to fit in there, EC3? Alberto says he's here to fight the big dog, not the bitch. This led to a shove from EC3, and two men started brawling. Security needs to separate them, but it doesn't last long. Alberto breaks ring, goes after him again. They separate again. He grabs him out and says, "I accept your challenge!" And we're done. It was a good segment. I did enjoy that. It's nice to see they do have a lot of chemistry in that ring, EC3 and Alberto, so made for a very entertaining segment. Then Eddie Edwards talks about how he's going to make Impact Wrestling great again. They had a few of these segments throughout the show. Then they show a video of the management in the office discussing the tag team title situation with the Decay and the Hardys and all that kind of stuff. And why Decay has the titles. Pitchcard said he has an idea, gets up and leaves. Everyone was for the idea of taking them away, and only one guy was in the idea of letting the Decay have them. So, very good there. It's nice to see these office segments. I don't mind it. It's trying to get over the new bosses, so I have to give them that for now. We'll roll with the punches. Then we go to the announcers test. JB announces that EC3 vs Albatron is official for tonight. Then we see the history of Tyrus and Eli Drake, including the betrayal and the offer of the raise and that kind of stuff. That was all good. Then we have Eli Drake and Tyrus versus Lado Kid and Grazer Jr. I don't know if I pronounced them right or not. They were some luchadors. They were good. Lado goes for a handshake, but Eli chugs him off. Eli shoves Grazer into Tyrus, who holds him. Eli goes for a punch, but Grazer ducks and Tyrus gets decked instead. Eli cleans house, and then he holds Grazer and tells Tyrus to get up and tag in. Grazer rolls up Drake for the 3 count. It was a good match, and then Drake is irritated and has a massive go at Tyrus at the end of the match. So, what they're planning to do here, I'm hoping is split Tyrus and him up, but we'll have to see now. But it's looking good. Then we go to the announcers, so Josh and Borash can argue some more. A lot less bickering this week, which is what I like. Borash talks about Impact's new relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah. We see some footage of James Storm, Eddie Edwards, and Moose in Japan. This put one hole in their logic here. Moose was away last week and this week because he's in Japan. Yet apparently Eddie Edwards and James Storm were over there at the same time, and yet they were on the show. So, where is your logic here, guys? What is going on? It's called consistency and continuity. What the hell is going on? Just tell me. Jesus Christ, God. Then we have Keiki Quinn. I don't really know. This is Brandy Rhodes. They talk about how Brandy left her place that she used to work as she makes her entrance. Before the match officially starts, Cody comes down carrying his Next Gen title, grabs a microphone, tells his wife the match isn't going to happen. He knows Brandy's ready, but Impact is no longer going to pimp out the Rhodes name on their term. They'll do it on his. He goes to Quinn, gives her $45 and says, "This is $20 more than they were going to pay you. Go stand in the corner." Which was great. I'm sorry, but that made me laugh. It was so good. Cody is such a cocky arsehole when he wants to be. I loved it. I don't know if that's shoot or not, the actual payment, but that was pretty good. Brandy pleads the case with her husband to stop. He says excuses are nails that build a house of failure, and that's where Moose lives. Moose says he's in Japan, but he is Japan. The audience is just too sweet. But Moose is a little man, and Brandy can attest to him. He is the biggest man. He's going to double down and not only challenge Moose, but challenge him for the Impact Grand Championship. He then orders his wife to the back, and she does go. Great segment. Cody as a cocky heel is great. I love it. But yeah, he's facing WCPW. I don't know where the consistency is. Maybe it's like Bret Hart, where Bret Hart was facing Canada and face around the world and heel in America. Maybe that's the logic. Then we return from a break to find Rosemary attacking Quinn. It ends up with a red wedding in the middle of the ring, and then she stands over a victim and just goes. Sorry, she laughs. I couldn't get the laugh down. That was good. I enjoyed that. Maybe that's going to be a rivalry. Who knows? We'll have to see where that goes. Then we see a video of EC3 talking about how to make Impact great again. Then we have EC3 versus Alberto El Patron. The finish, EC3 picks up Alberto and hits a second TK3. Doesn't go for a cover. Instead, he rolls out on the floor, grabs a chair, brings him to the ring, prepares to break Alberto's skull open like a watermelon, stops himself, tosses the chair out of the ring, and then Alberto picks up E33, hits a double knee to the arm, which he'd been working on for the entire match. Super kick it to the face. Alberto gets a cross arm breaker. EC3 fights the rope but can't make it, and he taps out. It was a solid match. This was absolutely amazing. These two guys are very gifted in the ring. And then Alberto shows EC3 respects and applauds him, then gets him out and asks for his music to be turned off. He tells EC3 he can't leave yet until Alberto Patron pays him the respect he deserves as a competitor. He gets down on one knee and applauds EC3. Then he said he's been in this business his entire life and faced the most dangerous opponents around, but tonight EC3 gave him one of the best matches of his career. He put his hands out to EC3 and EC3 had a lot of words for Alberto, but then shakes his hand. Alberto raises EC3's hand. EC3 rolls under the bottom rope and heads to the back, giving Alberto his moment. It was good. Then Mackenzie Michelle is backstage and introduces Renault Scum. They are the perfect combination of athleticism and violence. They are here to be the World Tag Team Champions. Short and sweet, I like it. And then EC3 is flipping out in the parking garage. Bruce Pitchcott tries to calm him down, but then they go too far away to hear what they're saying and they have a heated argument. I like that. The authority figures are trying to establish themselves, and we'll see where they go with it. The Madison Rain talks about how she wants to help make Impact great again. Then we go to the announcers so they can bicker with each other. Jeremy Boris said she'll be back next week. I assume he means Madison Rain. Then we see a video package hyping the return of Suicide. Yes, not Manic, Suicide. Thank God, because that Manic thing was a load of crap. Then we have Suicide versus Andrew Everett versus Braxton Sutter versus Trevor Lee. The finish, Laura Van Ness turns up in the crowd, still wearing her wedding dress, probably still drunk, and eating chocolate wedding cake. Sorry, it's just ridiculous to say. Sutter is worked on by Lee when he sees this. Laurel grabs for Ali and Sutter goes out. When he comes back in the ring, Lee hits a flying knee to Braxton's head for the 3 count. Good match. I enjoyed it. It was typical X Division stuff. It was good. Nice to see Suicide back. And not a stupid Manic. Then Sienna comes to the top of the ramp and says she hopes Braxton and Ali enjoy their fairy tale while it lasts because she's going to give them worse than Maria. Sienna said she adored that the first time they slept together is going to be in the hospital. She then says Romeo and Juliet are always going to have a tragic ending. Lol's eating all of this up at ringside. It was good. I like how they progressed in this feud. I cannot wait to see where they go with it. Then Moose tells us how he's going to make Impact great again. Then our main eventer, Bruce Pitchcard, comes out to close the show. He said titles are won and lost in the ring, not in outer space or on the internet. It's inside of a ring and nobody knows who the hell the tag team champs are. But we're going to find out in 2 weeks when the top 4 teams in Impact Wrestling and to crown a brand new Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Maybe we get new belts because the old ones currently say TNA Tag Team Champions. Ooh, new belt maybe. Decay's music hit, they come out to the ring and they have a word with Mr. Pitchcard. Abyss introduces them to Bruce and informs him that they are beautiful. Steve says they are a never-ending nightmare of Impact Wrestling, and Rosemary says, they are the They are the ones who have rescued the titles from time and space. They should get what they deserve, or they will take them. Sorry, I haven't done a voice on this in a while, so it's nice. Renault Scum. Why do I keep saying Renee? I don't know. Renault Scum comes out to join the party and they shot the world by beating the DCC, so they deserve the world titles. Then comes Lardo Kid and Grazer Jr. Lardo speaks in Grannis and then Grazer translates and said they're here for the titles. A brawl with the 3 teams break out, but we're moving for one more team out here. Renault Scum, Lars Grazer and get cleared out, and Decay stands tall before LAX's music hits. Here comes Homicide and Conan. No Hernandez. I'm sad. I wanted Hernandez. I love Hernandez. He was great. But anyway, LAX. They beat up the guys on the floor, and then 2 more guys and a lady come running into the crowd and lay Decay out. One hits a corner cannonball running up his partner's back, and then Homicide hits a Cobra Killer on Steve. Conan says LAX are back. They want the White Mafia to know that they are serious, like a late period. They drape their flag over Decay and head up the ramp as we call it a night. It was good. It was a really good episode of Impact. I'd enjoyed this. Everything had a clear, consistent storyline, apart from the bit about Japan and Moose and everything like that. But God damn it. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it, to be fair. Impact's impressing me still. I do enjoy my Thursday night Impacts. So, for now, I'm very optimistic about the future of Impact, and we will make it great. Now, I do hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. Please give it a like if you have. Subscribe to see more content, and I'll catch you later.